Hello, everyone. Get ready for NBA action live on 2K Sports. A quick check now at the starting lineups for both teams. And the Magic start out with the ball. McGrady with the ball. Pass to Howard. And here is McGrady. O'Neal with it. Puts it up. Here's Howard. Makes it off the glass. Now here's Walker. Pass to Mourning. And stolen by Howard. McGrady with the ball. Now O'Neal. Hardaway with it. Shot clock at 6. Here's O'Neal. Working on Jones. Left block shot on the way. And O'Neal gets it to go. And now just over a minute played here in the first. Outside, Walker. Pass to Johnson. 6 to shoot. Outside, Walker. Now, here's Mourning. Mourning can't make it work. Here's Orlando now. And here in the first, closing in on 2 minutes play. Outside Hardaway. O'Neal. Shot is good off the back rim and in. On defense, Orlando. 6-point game. Mourning with it. They set the pick. Johnson down low. And the ball ends up out of bounds. Clock at 6. Johnson outside. Jones with the fadeaway. On the basket by Jones.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Here's McGrady. Shaq with the screen. Mourning's there. Lets it go with the 3. Count that one.
They're off and running. Good start here. They've knocked down 4 of their first 5.
Now Jones. Pass to Mourning. Now Johnson. He's guarded by Howard. "11 feet away. And it's good.
He's got so much junk in his trunk. He'll find a way to hurt you.
Now here is McGrady. First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. Hardaway. Grant Hill on the wing. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And here is McGrady. Puts one up from 19. And Orlando again with the bucket.
They've got themselves in front with some outstanding shooting right off the bat.
Here's Walker. Pass to Mourning. From 12 feet out. And Shaq sends it back. McGrady with the ball. He's got 5. Hardaway with it. Outside Hardaway. Now here is McGrady. And another shot. Howard in the post. And Howard with the nice bucket inside.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Pass to Jones. Mourning. Shoots from the baseline. Now Mourning. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Back to Howard. 11 feet away. That's good. Jones with it. Back to Mourning. Lays it up and banks it in. Orlando leading. Now here's Hardaway. And here's McGrady. Pass to Howard. Johnson's there. The jump hook. Another shot. And O'Neal gets it to go. He's got 6. Walker with it. Jones. Now Mourning. Mourning inside. Mourning's shot is good.
You know, he seemed a bit cold. The shots haven't been falling for him early on.
Here's McGrady. Pass to Hill. Hardaway with it. Just 5 to shoot. It's stolen by Johnson. Jones with it. Outside, Walker. And here is Johnson. Pass to Walker. 5 on the clock. Here's Mourning. Mourning inside. That's good. He has 6. Time call here. The Magic decide to talk it over. Here's McGrady. He's got 5. Working on Jones. And here is McGrady. And he drops it in from the low post. Here's Walker. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Johnson outside. Back to Walker. Pass to Mourning. O'Neal's there. The jump hook. Can't get it to go. Here's McGrady. Back to O'Neal. Guarded by Walker. Outside Hill. Hardaway with it. 6 on the shot clock. It's back to Hill. No good off the back of the rim. Walker with it. There's the pick. Pass to Mourning. Now Jones. And he gets it to go.
The defender a little hesitant to offer resistance as he bursts to the hoop.
Here's Hardaway. It's back to Hill. Outside Hardaway. The 9-foot shot. Off the left rim and out. And here's Walker. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Eddie Jones on the wing. Now here's Jones. Launches a 3. And he gets the bucket. He's got 7.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there.
Outside Hardaway. Pass to O'Neal. Back to Hardaway. There's the 3. And that one's good. Walker with it. So a new group on the floor for Orlando. Pass to Curry from downtown. The shot is off. Now Anderson. And stolen by Wallace. Now here's Bowes. Got that one up quick.
You know, that's exactly how they wanted to run that possession, guys. Beautiful.
And here's Anderson. Pass to Scott. Here's Vucevic. Now Anderson. From the arc. It's hauled in by Bryant.
Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Here's Bowes. Hope they get it back. Here's Wallace. Battles through traffic and lays it in.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
Pass to Scott. Here's Vucevic. And the layup's good off the glass. And so here's the home team. They trail by 3. Here's Bogues. Outside Curry. The shot misses.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
Francis. Pass to Anderson. The shot. Good as the jump shot falls. Bogues with it. Outside Curry. Back to Bogues. Now here's Curry. Shot clock at 6. Now Brown. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Clock at 6. Offline with his 3.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
Now here's Bogues. They set the pick. For the 3. And that does it for the first quarter. It's the Magic after this break. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And what do you guys think about the Magic here so far in this one? Right side Curry. Back to Bogues. Blocked. Anderson inside. Back to Anderson. Pass to Scott. Beyond the arc. Shot is off. Now here's Bogues. Now Curry. Takes a 3. And he gets the bucket.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. The Magic making a switch here. Just over 1 minute has passed here in the second quarter. Here is Armstrong. Here's Vucevic. Vucevic backing down. Pass to Anderson. Scott with the ball. No good with the triple. And here is Davis. Outside for Curry. Fires for 3. Grant gets the rebound. Orlando leading. And we're a little over a minute and a half into the second quarter of action. Here is Armstrong. Scott. Scott with the ball. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. The Magic again can't hit. Here's Wallace. Here's Gill. Gives him the lead pass. Davis. Brown outside. Back to Davis. Pass to Gill. Wallace with the ball. Outside Curry. The 3. And that is good. He's got 6.
It took him a little while to get into the flow of this game, but now he's definitely found his stride and rhythm.
Here is Armstrong. Vucevic backing down. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Now Grant. Here is Armstrong. Shoots a fader. Shot is blocked. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off the shot. 24-second violation. And the Magic making a change here. Now Davis. Pass to Gill. Now Mourning. Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. Hill with it. Hill with it. McGrady with the ball. 6 to shoot. Shot to stop the drought. And he lays it up and in. He's got 9.
And don't forget now, a walking highlight reel every time he steps on the court. His flair for the dramatic makes him worth the price of admission all by himself.
Gill gets a very good look and converts.
You know, I think when you've got somebody that open on the perimeter, a good shooter, the kickout's the only choice.
It's back to Hill. Now McGrady. Armstrong. It's good from long range.
I'm not sure who was supposed to pick him up, but somebody's going to get an earful from the coach for leaving him that wide open.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Number 1.
And the first one drops. And both free throws good for Davis. And here is McGrady. He's got 9. Pass to Grant. And here is McGrady. Five to shoot. And Orlando again with the bucket.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
Back to Johnson. Working on Grant. Johnson left side. Now, here is McGrady. 11 points in the game. Grant Hill on the wing. Johnson over to help. Grant. Clock at 6. Now, here is Hill. Good on the shot.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
Here's Gill. Pass to Davis. Johnson with it. Working on Howard. Johnson left side. Here's Rice. No good on the 3.
A clear look at the hoop. He doesn't miss many of those.
Here is Armstrong. There's the screen. No good on the triple. Johnson outside. McGrady covering. Johnson outside. Outside for Davis. Floats one up. Orlando grabs the miss.
Hey, I like creativity and the circus finish as much as anybody. But you better be sure you got a chance to make it. He had his choice of finishing moves there, and you just got to love the fact he went old school with the finger roll.
The Magic making a switch here. Here's Rice. It's blocked, but they recover it. Walker connects from three-point range.
Defender there in the neighborhood, but not quite close enough. Good shot.
Here's Hardaway. It's back to Hill. Outside Hardaway. Pass to O'Neal. Outside Hardaway. Clock at 4. And he goes in for the dunk. And here's Walker. Mourning with it. Now Walker. Now Jones. Lets it fly. And it's Shaq with the rebound.
That's a huge part of what they want to do defensively. Limit his easy chances inside.
Here's McGrady. Grant Hill on the wing. It's tipped. Jones with it. 7 points in the game. Pass to Walker. The shot is off. Now Hardaway. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Right side Hardaway. Now Howard. Takes the 13-footer. No good.
And you know why he was open there. They didn't commit too much defense to him, and you can see why. He has trouble making that shot.
That drops. Orlando leading. Now here's Hardaway. Pass to O'Neal. Back to Hardaway. Now here is McGrady. 6 on the shot clock. And Hardaway gets it to go.
He might not get a better look than that all game. You have to get closer to him. He's not going to bite you. Get up in him.
Here's Walker. Right side to Walker. Count the bucket.
He's done a nice job, a great job actually, of finding efficient shots here in the second. Shooting percentage always a function of the kinds of shots you get. And he's on a good roll after struggling a bit in the first.
O'Neal with it. And O'Neal gets it to go. Jones with it. 9 points in the game so far. Mourning. Pass to Walker. Makes the lead pass. Mourning inside. Mourning's shot is good. Now here's Hardaway. 6 points for him. Guarded by Walker. Here's Hardaway. There's the lob to the hoop. And Shaq with the slam. And here's Walker. 5 points in the game. Mourning with it. Pass to Walker. Takes the three. The offensive rebound. For three. And that one's good. He has 7. Here's McGrady. He's got 11. And here is Hill. Now here's Hardaway. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful.
Boy, after struggling in the first quarter, he's come alive here in the second.
Now Walker. Back to Johnson. Pass to Walker. Now Mourning. With the shot. Mourning can't make it work.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costly.
They set the pick. Grant Hill on the wing. Hardaway. Just 5 on the clock. Here's McGrady. Tries to save it. That's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will retain possession. The Magic making a switch here. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Here's Walker. He's got 5. Back to Brown. Pass to Jones. And here's Walker. Rob. And they're on the break. And here we go. Now here's Bowes. Back to Jones. The 3, and he gets it to go. 12 points for him. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. What can you say? Eddie Jones, an impressive effort here today. Now Walker. Mourning inside. And out of bounds as the Magic will gain possession.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
Hardaway with it. Grant Hill on the wing. And O'Neal backs in. Post-up shot. He takes it up and lays it in. He's got 12.
Another area where he excels is on one of the most fundamental plays in basketball, the pick and roll. He will lower the boom on the defender with a solid screen and then is terrific at rolling into space and getting the basket.
Shot clock at 6. And that one's good. And the Magic with possession. Outside Hardaway. Hill. Pass to Howard. Here's Hardaway. Clock at 6. Soft touch off the glass. He's got 10. And here's Walker. 5 points in the game. First minute and a half of basketball here in the third quarter. Mourning with it. Back to Mourning. 6 on the shot clock. And the shot's good after hitting off the rim. Here's Orlando now. They lead by 4. Pass to Hardaway. Always going up for the alley-oop here. And Shaq with the slam. Here comes Kemba Walker. Jones. Pass to Mourning. O'Neal's there. The jump hook. No good on the shot. A bit long that time. Here's Orlando now. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Hardaway. Now here's Jones. He's got 12. Now here is Mourning. Pass to Walker. Six to shoot. Johnson with it. Oh, and here's the one-handed jam. Time call here. The Magic decide to talk it over. Minutes gone now in the third quarter. Here's McGrady. 11 points in the game. Pass to Hardaway. Stolen by Walker. Shot denied. And here is Hardaway. 10 points for him. Now O'Neal. Back to Hardaway. Clock at 6. And he stepped in the line, so they turn it over.
That's a major mental mistake. I mean, there's no other way for me to describe it. He didn't know where he was on the court. That's a basic fundamental. You have to be alert to where you are.
In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Walker with it. He has 5. Pass to Mourning. Outside, Walker. Shot clock at 6. Rebound by the Magic.
They've been the glass eaters today, guys. A ton of effort out of them down low.
Now McGrady. It's going to be a goaltending call here, so they'll count the bucket.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
Walker with it. Pass to Mourning. Puts the lead pass in front of him. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And he knocks down the first one. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Orlando leading. Now, here is McGrady. 13 points in the game. Pass to Hardaway. Launches it. And again, it's the Magic from deep.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Here's Jones. He's got 12. Here's Mourning. Here's Jones. 6 on the shot clock. Now here's Jones. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. He's got 14.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
Back to Howard. Outside Hill. Pass to O'Neal. Bank shot. No good. And here's Jones. 14 points for him. Rice. Outside, Walker. Right side to Walker. All sorts of time. Here's Mourning. Shakes off the strong D and gets the bucket for 2. Now here's Hardaway. He's got 13. Pass to O'Neal. Mourning's there. O'Neal misses. Now Walker. Back to Mourning. Walker. Jones with it. Jones with it. 3 on the clock. From deep. It's hauled in by McGrady. Now Hardaway off the screen. And it comes off the screen and slams it through. Now here's Walker. He has 5. Pass to Johnson. Johnson right side. That is good. He's got 6. Here's Hardaway. He's got 15. Back to O'Neal. And the pass goes out of bounds, and they'll turn it over.
Just got a little careless on that pass. They should be able to connect on those.
So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Now Davis. Pass to Mourning. Here's Gill. Trails the baseline jumper. Here's Scott. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. And stolen by Wallace. Now here is Davis. Here is Armstrong. It's a 1-point game. Pass to Scott. Releases. And he hits the jump shot. And here is Davis. Wallace right side. Back to Davis. 6 to shoot. Goes back up. He lays it in. 6 points for him.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Here's Vucevic, and it's Mourning with the rebound. They can retake the lead after trailing for a while.
Nice work to hang around and just give yourself a chance. Put yourself in position.
Orlando trailing here. Here is Armstrong. Pass to Anderson. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. Davis with it. Here's Gill. Here's Curry. And 3 off the mark. 3 on 3. Here's Scott. Pass to Grant. Scott with the ball. And again, it's the Magic from deep.
You know, they didn't leave him alone out there, but you got to rubber band his hands. You got to crowd him and smother him on the perimeter. Otherwise, he'll make you pay.
Good. Here's Davis. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. 10 points for him. On offense, here are the Magic. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Pass to Scott. From past the arc. And again, it's Orlando with the 3.
That's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Here's Davis. 10 points for him. Now Mourning. Here's Gill. Great open look there. Anderson with the ball. Back to Grant. Pass to Anderson. Here is Armstrong. Back to Anderson. It's up a 3. That's good. He's got 7.
They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
Here's Gill. Davis with it. With the lead pass. Now Anderson. 7 points in the game. And he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run. Now here is Davis. Ball is up on top. Outside, Davis. Left side, Davis. Pass to Gill. Outside, Davis. Rocket 6. No good with the layup.
Usually, if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
And here is Grant. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
Well, I think he shot the ball well, guys, but I don't think he shot it enough. The more shots he gets from here on out, the more they'll stretch out this lead.
And we've reached the end of the third. It's the Magic. And hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. Orlando leading. Pass to Anderson. And here is O'Neal. And O'Neal backs in. A baseline J. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will retain possession. So it's Orlando now. They lead by their biggest margin of the game, 9. Shot clock at 6. Here's Lewis. And again, it's the Magic from deep.
The D has gotten a little lax defending the three-point shot at that end.
Here's Bowes. Outside Curry. Pass to Brown. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely. Anderson with the ball. Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. Now Scott. Now Anderson. They get it again. O'Neal. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time.
You know, so many games are decided by which team wins the rebound battle. And that's held true in this one so far.
Bogues with it. Wallace outside. Shot clock at 5. Outside Curry. Shoots the 3. And he gets it to go.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They got to get more intense.
Here's Orlando now. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. O'Neal inside. Now here's Anderson. Shot from the wing. And again, it's Orlando converting. Now Bogues. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter.
Well, I tell you what, that's fantastic defense on one of the best three-point shooters in the league. The key there was not to give him much space before he took that shot.
The kick out to Anderson. And again, it's Orlando with the 3. Now, here's Bogues. And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. Pass to Curry. Great touch on the 16-footer. And so here's Orlando. A 12-point game. Francis. Back to Scott. Good on the three-point shot.
He didn't have a single three-pointer in the first, but here he is knocking them down.
Here's Bogues. Pass to Wallace. Coleman. No good.
And that'll increase their rebound advantage. They've definitely been winning that battle on the boards.
Anderson with the ball. And here's Anderson. Here's Scott. From outside, off the mark. Here's Curry. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kevin. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Bogues with it. Back to Curry. And that one's good.
You know, something else I think about when I see this guy is he's a real headache to have to defend one-on-one. I mean, he's got all of the game that makes it tough for his defender.
Now Anderson. Now here's Lewis. This one for 3. Scott uses the glass to finish the layup. Now here's Bogues. There's a good screen. Out to Wallace. Gets to the corner and buries it.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
So it's Orlando now. Pass to Anderson. And here is Lewis. Lets the 3 fly. And Curry pulls it down.
Boy, but he was close, Kevin, to making the defense pay for lackadaisical coverage there.
From outside the arc. And that goes out of bounds. So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Here's Rice. Good on the triple.
Clearly, a defensive breakdown there, guys. They didn't play him close enough on the inbound and then gave up the triple.
And it's the Magic's ball. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. And it's rejected. And they're able to recover. And here's Bogues. Pass to Jones. There's a screen. Back to Bogues. Here's Johnson. Clock at 6. And he banks in the layup.
That's the way to work the ball in close to the hoop, guys.
And here is Hardaway. Now McGrady. Grant Hill on the wing. Right side Hill. McGrady with the ball. 6 on the shot clock. Howard. And he uses the glass on the layup. And so here's the home team. Down by 12. Pass to Jones. Now Johnson. Outside to Bogues. the three, and the basket good.
They're not going to run that play very often, but hey, they'll take it. Way to notch that three.
Outside Hardaway. Pass to O'Neal. Puts up the baby hook. And a little luck that time, but it drops. 22 points for him. Here's Bowes. Now, here's Mourning. Buried from 15 feet out. Here's McGrady. Outside Hardaway. Pass to O'Neal. Mourning's there. O'Neal misses. Bowes with it. Eddie Jones on the wing. He used that pick just right. Now Hardaway. O'Neal with it. Johnson on him. Now here's Hardaway. Pass to Howard. 6 to shoot. O'Neal. The 11-footer. Shaquille O'Neal again. He's got 24.
He is just tearing it up this quarter. That lead's not going anywhere while he's this high.
And here's Jones. Johnson with it. Johnson inside. Johnson's shot is off. Now here is McGrady. Leads him in there. Here is Howard. Here's O'Neal. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. That's good from O'Neal. So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses. Jones with it. Pass to Walker. Back to Jones. Now here's Johnson. Johnson inside. A shot by Johnson, no good.
I think in that situation, that was a nice try to create some space for himself with the fadeaway.
Here's McGrady. Offside Hardaway. It's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will retain possession. Time call here. The Magic decide to talk it over.
Said to his team.
Inside the shape. Now Walker. Pass to Johnson. That's good.
One of the reasons they're behind is because we haven't seen enough of that. He needs to become a bigger part of the offense.
Now here's Hardaway. It's back to Hill. Outside Hardaway. Pass to O'Neal. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two. That's good from O'Neal. He's off on the second. They're looking to trim the deficit to single digits. Outside, Walker. Pass to Johnson. That's good.
Guys, he shot a very good percentage today, and they need it.
Orlando leading. And here's O'Neal. Shot goes down. Very quick possession right there. 30 points in the game.
They're in the position they're in right now thanks in no small part to the show that he's putting on in this period.
Pass to Johnson. And here's Jones. Now here's Jones. Just 4 to shoot. And it's good with time running down in the shot clock.
Well, I tell you what, he's having one of those days where if he takes it, he makes it.
Here's McGrady. Outside Hardaway. Backing down is Howard. And he can't bank that one in. Walker with it. Here's Rice. Drills the three-pointer.
You know, they've got to be careful not to give a shooter of his caliber open looks like that. One or two of those are all it takes to really get him going.
And now we've got the intentional foul. First free throw is good, and that... So he gets them both, and a 6-second difference between shot and game time. Jones, no luck. Now McGrady. And so it's a